Yeah.
What it do, sugar babies? It's Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade Raq and Kanan Season 2 Episode 8 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously. So if that works for you, then let's get into tonight's review. The episode opens up with Raq making her way over to the projects to run up on Palomar honey after Palomar's daughter came to her and told her that Kanan and her mama had been bumping ugly. So she bamming on the door, and Famous hears, and he creep around the corner to see what's going on and sees Raq. So Palomar opens the door, and Raq like, stay the fuck away from my son. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, bitch, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know you fucking my son, and I know he ain't the first person you did this shit to, so I'm telling your ass to back the fuck up before you get smacked the fuck up, you whack motherfucker. West Side. So Palomar still playing stupid, and she was like, look, bitch, I done already told you. And this time she pulled out her motherfucking strap and put it to her head and was like, if I find out you fucking with my son, I'm going to use this next time. So try me if you want to, sweet thing. And she ends up leaving. Palomar is shaking in her boots. You can't tell me that bitch didn't piss on herself. So as she's leaving, Raq walks right past Famous, was like, and you go to school, because you was just a loser and a bum. Like, what is you over here doing with your life, sir? Like, ew, gross. And this is who my son hang out with? I don't think so. So then we see Kanan chilling outside. I don't know if he was waiting on the bus. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, because we never see this little nigga in school. We just see him going to and fro with a goddamn backpack. So a car rolls past him and then doubles back, and he kind of get nervous, like, who the fuck is this rolling up on me? But lo and behold, it's Scrappy Mama. And Scrappy Mama was like, I know my son didn't kill himself, and I need to talk to your mama because she ain't doing shit about it. And you know, to cover for his mama, he goes along with the lie that, you know, Scrap killed himself, even though he knows the truth. And she was like, look, if your mama don't do something about it, I'm gonna do something about it, period. And she skeet skirt the fuck off. And I was like, you can't play around with a black mama. Black mamas do not play about their kids. And when she said if Raq don't do something about it, she will, she wasn't playing. That was not a threat. That was a damn promise. So now Kanan is like, fuck, this is just another thing that we gotta fucking deal with, on top of me having to deal with my own issues with this bitch lying to me constantly. Now she done got us roped into this shit with Scrappy Mama. So then we see Raq out to dinner with Cartier. He took her to the same restaurant he took her to the last time. I'm like, nigga, you ain't got reservations nowhere else? There ain't nowhere else you can take her? Like, Symphony did more than this, and this nigga was a goddamn night school teacher. What the fuck is going on? So he on the phone talking big shit because he found out that the Tremont dude from last episode got arrested, and he was like, he gonna let his ass sit on ice for a minute to teach his ass a damn lesson. But you know, Raq gonna use this to her advantage to get dude on her side and, you know, start dealing for her. So Raq just sitting there soaking up everything, ear hustling, just playing a little cute, you know, trophy piece for this nigga, because, you know, he's steady trying to get the pussy. I don't think she gonna give him the pussy. I think she using her feminine wiles to reel him in to get as much as she can and then to off his ass. But it ain't gonna go that easy with a nigga like Cartier. So then we see Lulu and fake ass Cassie roll up on the radio host in the parking garage and was like, why the fuck you ain't play my song? And he was like, you know, it take time, we're crowned there, he understand these things. And Lulu was like, he gone on vacation, you gonna be dealing with me now. And so dude steady, you know, trying to run game and was like, you know, this your new artist, bring her upstairs so we can discuss a few things, basically trying to get her to fuck to play her record or whatever. And at this point, Lulu done had enough of this nigga mouth, so he pulled out his gun on him and was like, nigga, play the motherfucking record. I'm tired. I don't feel like killing nobody today. I just want to go to the studio, roll up, play some beats, and chill for the rest of the day with my bitch. I'm not trying to kill nobody, okay? But y'all niggas keep on pushing me. Meanwhile, fake ass Cassie is laughing in the background because she thinks she Harley Quinn or somebody, and like this is just another day at the office for her. Like she is having the time of her life, even though that bitch ain't really about that life for real, for real. She just like the street life. And she get off on the shit though, however. And I'm like, yeah, you need to get away from this crazy bitch because she's weird. And she don't mean you no good. We thought the last little Puerto Rican bitch was something. She gonna be even worse. So we then see Marvin link up with Neek, who tells him about what happened with the Tony hit and how Marco got killed and how Dominique out there on the fucking loose. So Marvin is shaking in his goddamn boots at this point because he knows he done fucked up and fucked up big and bad this time, to the point where Raq probably will end up not fucking with him period anymore, because like you done put us in a world of trouble all behind this white bitch you trying to get back at. Like all of that was fucking unnecessary. You could have just left well enough alone, and now you got us in trouble with the motherfucking Italians that I just got us out of trouble with. And they still got this Jamaican shit going on, which I still think was a setup via Raq to get her name attached to that damn studio through Cartier. But we gonna find out. So he's scared now because he don't know what the fuck to do, because Dominique's still out there on the streets. His body hasn't been found, and at this point he just a wishing and a praying that this nigga is actually dead. So we then see Jukebox visit her mama, and her mama was like, I got a surprise for you. Some people want to talk to you. So she go inside her mama apartment, and lo and behold, damn near the whole church in the goddamn living room, standing in the back of the room with their Bibles and shit out, looking like they on American Horror Story cover. And I'm like, what in the fuck? I would have turned right around right then and there, because that shit looked creepy as hell. I would have been like, I'm all right, I'm good. Let me go downstairs, and I left my bag or something downstairs on the stoop. Let me go get it. Girl, I would have made up any fucking excuse to get the fuck out of Dodge, but she ended up staying anyway. And so basically at this point, Kenya in a church is trying to pray the gay out of her because she's a sinner and she's supposed to be with a man or woman. And they sit her down in a chair and hold her down and make her watch a fucking porn video of a woman and a man having sex, because that's, you know, the right way to do it, and they in holy matrimony. Whereas the lesbians they showed was, you know, sinning and you're going to hell. And then the pastor take out a what's that thing, a paddle, and then start hitting her on the hand like she in kindergarten and the shit, trying to beat the gay out of her. And Kenya like, you know, I didn't think we was gonna be hitting. He was like, look, you gonna need to do everything you can to get this out of her, because she got a strong lesbian demon on her. It's gonna take more than praying this out of her. So Kenya let this shit go down, and Juke not even really tripping off the pain. She's more hurt by what her mother is allowing these people to do to her. But we all knew that that was going to be the thing that was going to force them apart. And like I said on last week's video, I said to you guys that I felt like her mother already knew she was gay, and that's why she was encouraging her to go on a date with that little boy and trying to change the way she dressed and all of that type of stuff. And in the voiceover, in the narration, Kanan's character was like, people always asked me what made Jukebox change, what made her so hard. And he was like, first of all, it was more than one thing, but this was one of them that would stick with her for the rest of her life. Like, because how could your mother do something like that to you and allow others to physically harm you and condemn you based off their beliefs? You know what I'm saying? So that really fucked her up, and she, at that moment, you can tell, began to hate her mother and probably hate everything about the church at that point. Like, you saw in that scene where Jukebox character began to change for the worse. So after that, we go to Howard, who is in the office talking to the captain about Burke going through his files and stuff and doing way too much. And he was like, you know, y'all need to talk to her about this, like, cause she doing the most. So Captain was like, I'm gonna talk to her, I'm gonna holler at her. He was like, she got bigger things to worry about anyway, because, you know, the little white girl Nicole that overdosed, her parents ain't letting the shit go. Now her daddy in on the shit, and felt like Burke had something to do with it, because she was around underage girls, and he think that she was the one that supplied the drugs. Now mind you, Howard was the one that set that whole thing up when he went to go see Nicole's father. He the one put that bug in the daddy ear to get Burke up off his back. And I was like, oh, you kind of smart. You smart. Okay, Howard. So we then see Famous tell Kanan about what happened early that morning with his mama coming to check Palomar. So Kanan go down to her apartment and was like, what my mama say to you? And she was like, I just can't see you no more. Like, I ain't trying to get caught the fuck up, nigga. I ain't trying to die behind no dick. Like, you cute little nigga. You a little cute little nugget, little caramel nugget. But nah, we not doing this. I'm not losing my life over no little dick. So, of course, he is upset. He's pissed off because he enjoyed that old lady pussy. She whipped that thing on him. She had that whip appeal. So, he go back to Famous apartment upset. And he upset that he can't fuck on Palomar no more. He ain't fucking with the daughter. Now he mad at his mama even more because she buttoned her nose in his life, even though in this case she should have. Because, nigga, you was getting sexually molested by this old ass bitch. So he comes back to the apartment to find Famous with his paternity test results, and he like, why is you going through my shit? He was like, I actually thought it was my book bag. I was gonna try to do some homework. And I'm like, sis, when you want to do homework, little nosy motherfucker? So he gets to questioning Kanan about like, why you getting a paternity test? You already know who your daddy is. You know it's Key Glock or whoever the fuck the man's supposed to be. So Kanan feeling some type of way because he just want to know why this nigga going through his shit. He didn't really truly believe it, you know. And so after that, Sal says to Neek at his home when everybody comes to give their condolences about his son being murdered, that he want to know who the other guy was that was with his son that night, because he needs questions that have to be answered ASAP. So we then see the captain at the precinct call Burke into his office. So Burke says to Howard, like, what you think this about? He was like, he cutting hours or whatever. And so she believed him, like she's none the wiser, even though he knows exactly what's about to go down. So she goes into the captain's office and he basically tell her to leave these people the fuck alone. Mind your business, hoe, because you already on thin ice and the league is looking at you. So I would advise you to go have several. So she was like, who told you all of this? And he was like, it don't matter. I got eyes and ears everywhere, which he did, because remember the guy at the desk was eavesdropping in on their conversation. So now she mad. She go back outside and tells Howard, nah, it wasn't nothing about cutting hours, but she didn't tell him exactly what was going on, because of course she don't want him to know that she's investigating him, even though he already knows. And at this point, Burke just gets on my nerves. Like, she's too fucking nosy. She always in somebody's business. She a fucking lame, and I just want him to leave her. Like, leave her, y'all. Like, y'all are not equally yoked. I just don't see it for y'all at all. So, after that, we see Raq calling a favor down at the precinct to get Tremont out of jail, because, she trying to reel that big fish on in, because, she all about the money. $1 bills, y'all. So she then get off the phone with her person at the precinct, and she gets out the whip because Kanan is walking up the streets, and she's like, I want to show you the new house. So she shows him the house that she's purchased for them, to get them out the hood, to spend some of this money and, upgrade their lifestyle. But Kanan like, I'm good where I'm at. I don't need to move. Like, this cute for you, but I'm staying where I'm at. And she like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you so fucking negative and mad and sad all the time? And he was like, you know why? And she was like, no, I don't. And so if there's something that you need to say, nigga, say it with your chest. So Kanan was like, why you go over there and say something to Palomar? And she was like, what you mean? I'm your mother. I'm supposed to handle it. Like, and come to find out, you ain't the first person she did this to. And he was like, you could have came and talked to me first. She was like, I ain't got to talk to you about shit first. Like, you're my child. Like, the fuck? And he was like, all of a sudden now, like, you want to be June Cleaver in this bitch. Like, you literally had me out here selling dope and had me try to kill my daddy. But you got an issue with me fucking an older woman. Make it make sense, ho. You can't be mama 1 second and then try to be the plug in the next. Girl, get out of here. That's why he don't fucking respect her ass. So he gets to telling her about, scrappy mama, and, she's sticking with the story that he killed himself, and he just looking at her like, this bitch steady lying to me. She is a walk-in lie detector. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this lying asshole? So she was like, I thought I told you when you came back that there was no more secrets. He was like, yeah. I thought the same thing, ho, but you just keep on fucking lying to me, girl. So he ended up telling her that he gonna stay a few days at Famous house because he just tired of her and her lies and everything else. So Sal learns that the dude that was with Marco the night of his murder was Dominic, and he like, this stupid motherfucker, where did I go wrong? Why did I hire this nigga? So immediately he like, everybody renegades, mount up, let's go to the goddamn hospital. So Juke that night burns all of the dresses and things that her mama bought her because she is done with that bitch. And Marvin comes home that night and catches her having a little bonfire in the backyard. He was like, what's this? And she was like, everything she bought me. And, she in tears, she crying because she's hurt. You know what I'm saying? She really enjoyed getting to know her mama. And it just sucked that her mama didn't, respect her and accept her for who she was. You know what I'm saying? Especially with her being gone for all of those years. And, Marvin is just trying his best to be there for her. That's all he can really do. And he was just happy that she came to him because he had already told her she gonna disappoint you. It's like, because that's what she do. So Dominic at the in the bed at the hospital, and he telling Sal what happened and how Marco ended up getting killed. And so Sal was like, who ordered this hit though behind this woman? And he was like, the nigga bitch brother, he the one that did it. And I was like, what, little motherfucker, you gotta die, because I'm so sick of you saying the N-word, little motherfucker, you goddamn pipsqueak you. So he looking like, oh, okay, say less. Okay, now we cooking with grease at this point. Okay, so we know it was Raq's brother that set this whole thing up and got my goddamn son killed. So Kanan goes to see Detective Howard that night after going to Famous's crib, and Famous didn't answer. So the only other place he could go to sleep that night was at Detective Howard's. And he lets him in, of course. And, I could only imagine for his character that it felt good that his son came running to him when he was in need of just help and shelter. So you can also tell, like, in that scene that pulled them closer to each other. Like, they're getting closer and closer and closer. But something is going to happen to end up pulling them apart or fucking up this relationship that they have. So after that, we see that Sal's made men or whatever head back into Dominic's room and suffocate that motherfucker with a pillow. They was like, nigga, you got to go, because they tired of him fucking up all the goddamn time. So Dominic is gone. Ain't nobody going to his funeral. We don't fuck with the ops. Fuck him for life. Hope you burn in hell. So we then see the next day Marvin and Jukebox in the whip waiting on King to come outside. And when she does, he hop out the car and goes to confront her on the shit that she did to Jukebox. And she was like, I do love my daughter, but she a sinner and I want to make sure she go to heaven. And he was like, bitch, I know you lying. Like, you the last person that needs to be talking about somebody going to heaven. How would people feel if they knew that you abandoned your damn baby and your man to go running off to LA to suck some basketball player dick? Like, girl, get the fuck out of my face with that stupid shit. So at that point, because he hit her ass with the truth, she decided to hit him literally in the face. She slapped the shit out of him. And Jukebox got scared because she had a flashback to when he whooped her ass all over that goddamn room like he was at Extreme Rules WWE pay-per-view. And she was like, Dad. So she jumped out the car because she just knew he was going to hit her, but he wasn't going to hit her. You know, he'd been to his little anger management classes. He was just more so like looking at her like, I know this bitch didn't. Like, I won't hit her, but my sister will. Like, don't make me call Raq down this motherfucker. So at this point, you know, Juke just tell her like, fuck you. I don't want to have shit to do with you. You ain't shit. And stay the fuck away from me, ho, at that point. So it was just really sad because, you know, she really loved her mama and loved the good times that they had with each other, but that bitch just confused. And it was good though that they showed how some churches will try to, you know, rebuke, you know, homosexuality and try to pray the great gay away and use all of these different tactics to try to get it out of you and all of that craziness or whatever. It was good that they showed that because there are a lot of people that go through that, you know what I'm saying? So it was very poignant for her story. So after that, we see Jukebox and Marvin in a car, and that's when I tripped off the fact that Jukebox had her hair braided to the back. And at that point, they made it clear through physical storytelling, not verbal storytelling, that at this point, Jukebox began to turn into the Jukebox that we saw on Power, because this whole time she's always wore her hair back in a ponytail. She never had her hair braided to the back. So at this point, we're beginning to see the beginning stages of the cold-hearted Jukebox that we saw years and years later. So we're already seeing how she's forming into that, you know, fucked up individual that she became. And it started with her father, you know, physically abusing her for being gay. Then her mother physically abusing her and allowing the church to physically abuse her for being gay. You know what I'm saying? From her mom abandoning her. Like, all of these things are what's setting her up to be this, you know, messed up individual that she became later on. And it's really sad. And I can't wait to find out, like, what was the thing that really tore her and Kanan apart. So while they're in the car, you know, Marvin is just like, he want to try to talk to her, and she was like, not today, Bernie. Like, I'm going through enough, maybe another day, my nigga, but not today. So he was like, all right, well, you know, I'll hit you later. And he was like, oh shit, like, I ain't mean it like that. I mean, I'll call you later. And he was like, you know, words mean thing, and I'm trying. And, you know, he just stumbling all over his words because he really want to make it right with her. And she kind of like grinned like, this clown ass nigga her. So she was like, it's all good. And she give him a pound. And at this point, they're on a better standing than what they were, but it ain't all Gucci. It ain't all good. Something's going to end up happening. I don't know if they're going to remain on the right track, and her dad ends up getting killed at some point, or they're going to end up falling out again because he end up going back to his old ways, or she ends up pushing him away. I don't know, but something is not going to be right between them two. So after that, Burke runs up on Raq at the grocery store and get to asking her all these questions about being Howard's informant when she was a teenager. And Raq like, Whitefish, if you don't get the fuck on somewhere, I'm up here trying to buy apples and oranges. You need to go take a bath. You smell like dog. Get out my face, bitch. And she pays her dust. And I'm like, Burke, you just want to die at this point, girl. You want to die. And I'm ready for you to die because you're getting on my goddamn nerves. How many times folks got to warn you to go sit your white ass down somewhere? So Raq then meets up with Neek. It's her, Lulu, Marvin, and I think Warrell was there too, might have been, or somebody was in the room with them. And Raq like, you know, what this Italian motherfucker want with me now? I thought everything was Gucci. And he was like, ask your brother. And Marvin almost choked on his drink. And he was like, you know, how you know it's even about that? He was like, nigga, you know that's why we here. So Marvin ended up hipping them to what happened with the whole Tony situation. And Raq like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, she is dumbfounded that this nigga would involve this man's son, and now the son is killed, because she already know where this about to go. And she is pissed the fuck off. Like, nigga, how stupid can you fucking be? Like, she is heated. And this just once again puts Neek in a better situation to get one up on them. So Raq then meets up with Sal at the bowling alley, and I didn't really like the way they had Sal's character acting after his son was killed. Even with the son being a fuck up and all that stuff, you would think that a father would grieve more, or have like some type of look of grief or strife or sadness on his face. It was like a regular day for this motherfucker. I feel like they should have had him being a little bit more emotional about the situation. But anywho, so Sal was like, your brother got my son involved, and therefore my son is dead because of your brother. So I'm gonna need for your brother to go. He gotta go. And so Raq like, my brother hired your son for a job. It's not my brother's fault that he fucked up doing the job. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And she was like, I'm not doing nothing to my brother. That's all up on y'all. Sorry for your loss, sir, but that ain't happening. So Sal was like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you so mean? I'm giving you an out and you just won't take it. Is it because you're a woman in a man's world? Like, what's up with you? And she was like, ain't that cute that you think it's about you and your dick and the niggas around you? She was like, no, I'm me. This is me. I ain't backing down for nobody. And at the end of the day, I said what I said. And she dipped. And he was like, okay, I got you. And he looks over at the bartender, was like, make that phone call, because she got me fucked up. Ain't no more talking at this point. So it is what it is. And I saw where both sides were coming from in that instance. Like, your brother fucked up, involved my son in some shit, went over my head, which he wasn't supposed to do. Now my son is dead. And then from Raq's end, your son decided to take the job offer. He fucked up, got killed. That's his fault. Both of them have valid fucking points. So it's just all about who gonna come out on top at this point. And you know how they do a lot on Power. They tend to end the antagonist that season. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kill Sal off within the next 2 episodes. But Raq and Kanan has done a good job with keeping that antagonist around, a la Neek, like how they didn't get rid of him, which I love. So we shall see. So Crown's body is found by the police, and they found like a business card or something on him with the studio information. So now the police about to be snooping around the studio, causing even more problems over there for Lulu. And at this point, Lulu, you just need to start making beats out the basement, because it ain't that goddamn serious shit. So at the very end of the episode, we see Marvin pull up on Renee to holler at her about, the situation with Jukebox and how they getting, things back on track. And, he basically like, he want to holler at her. He, like, what's good? Like, I'm digging you. And of course she digging him, and they get to walking down the block. And I'm like, why is this nigga out on the street like shit ain't hot? Like shit is sweet. Like these Italian motherfuckers don't want his head. I thought that was stupid of the writers to write him like that. But then again, Marvin's character is dumb in that way. So it makes sense that he would be out in the middle of the night, out in the open, knowing motherfuckers is out to kill him. He's not like Lulu and Raq where he would lay low. So then I was like, okay, so it fits for his character. So they walking and talking, and Renee just like, you deserve good things in your life, and she just speaking words of encouragement into him. And next thing you know, these 2 black dudes come up out the alleyway and was like, hey, yo, Marvin. And he turned around, and then they get the dumping. I think it was like 2 shots, and the screen went black. So we don't know who got shot. I don't think that it was Marvin that got shot. If he did get shot, it wasn't anything fatal. I believe 100% that Renee is going to end up getting killed. And I think that I even alluded to that, or either said that back on one of my other reviews. I was trying to go back and look for it, because I always have receipts, you know what I'm saying, for all of my spoilers that I concoct in my head. But yeah, I think I said to you guys that her character was gonna end up getting killed behind Marvin ass. So yeah, rest in peace to Renee. I don't think that she will survive next week's episode. I'll be shocked if I'm wrong. I think this is gonna be the thing that hardens Marvin all over it again, that nothing is forever. The world is a fucked up place. You can't never have nothing good in your life. So we shall see. Overall, that is my review of Raising Kanan. I'll give tonight's episode A. I really enjoyed it. There was more action. It moved a little bit faster as far as the pacing is concerned. A lot was accomplished in tonight's episode, and it seems like we're hopefully getting to that climactic point of this head-on collision with the Italians, finding out was the Jamaican shit even true. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with Renee? Is she dead? Like, it's so much shit on the table. So I'm super excited. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.